I hope now it should be okay. Yeah, give it a minute. I think you might see some small patch, so we'll manage it this way this time, okay? Uh, okay, so if you are not able to see certain parts, so please bear for today, and I will see if how we can. I will install the old version of Zoom next time, and we'll fix it. Okay, so this is what was done. So all the nouns are actually mu'rab, okay, except for the following categories. And what are these following categories? Al-Damair, Asma'ul Ishara, Al-Asma'ul Mausoolah, Asma'ul Istifhami, Ba'du Dhurufi, some of the Dhuruf, Asma'ul Af'ali, Al-A'dadul Murakkabatul. So except for these 7 categories, the all the asma, they are mu'rab, means they have the tendency to decline. Okay. Now these are the damair that you have been knowing from the last classes, and all the ones that are highlighted in this red color, these come always in the status of rafa. And these are munfasil. All these are detached pronouns. Okay. These damair are munfasil. Now, regarding muttasil pronouns, which means they are attached to either some ism or fi'l, or they are attached to harf. These come either as nasab or jar. These come as nasab or jar. Okay. So if the attached pronoun, it gets attached to fi'l, then it is maf'ul bihi. It is maf'ul bihi. Maf'ul bihi means it will be in the status of nasab. Okay. For example, it will be sa'alaka, for example. Okay. So it will be maf'ul bihi. And if it gets attached to harf, then it will be ism majroor, okay? Because harf, any noun or any pronoun that comes after harfu jar is majroor, and it is in the status of jar, okay? So if it comes after harfu jar, then it acts as ism majroor. And if it gets attached to an ism, then it is mudaf ilayh. So again, it is in the status of jar. Okay, mudaf ilayh is also majroor. So yesterday we took some examples. Now maf'ul bihi, and it gets attached to fi'l. Okay, so these are the examples we took. Sa'alani, sa'alaka, sa'alaki, sa'alahu, sa'alaha, sa'alana. Now, all these are attached pronouns or dhamir muttasil. Okay, these attached pronouns, they are in the status of nasab. Okay, uh, and it is maf'ul bihi. Now, when it is majroor, when it gets attached to ism or harfu jar. Okay, now, For example, kitabi means my book, kitabuna, kitabuka, kitabuhu. Now, when it gets attached to harfu jar, then it is also majroor, laka, laki, li, lahu, lana. So these are few of the examples that I mentioned that which I have repeated here. Now we took some more examples. For example, al-waqtu huwa al-ma'lu. Okay, and we did the grammatical analysis of especially for the pronouns in the what is the position of Damair in these sentences. Okay, in these examples. Al-waqtu huwa al-malu. So here al-waqtu is mubtada. You know that this is jumla fi'liya. Al-waqtu is mubtada and huwa al-malu is khabar. Now huwa is coming as a khabar here. So how will you say it is mabni? Because it will always be huwa. It can be waw will never take dhamma because it is mabni. So you will say fi mahalli raf'in khabarun mabniyun ala al-fathati. So it is in the place of rafa and it is khabar and it is mabni means huwa will remain huwa in all the situations. Okay, huwa mabniyun ala al-fathati. Okay, now ra'aytuhu means I saw him. Ra'aytu, this is Dhamir Muttasil. Okay. What is the status of who here? This is Dhamir Muttasil, attached pronoun. So, fi mahalli nasbin maf'ulun bihi mabniyun ala dhammati means this is ra'aytu contains both fail fa'il. Okay. So, who I saw him. Okay. So, who is maf'ul bihi, that's why it is in the status of nasab, and you will call the position of who as fi mahalli nasbin here. Okay, now this did not change, who did not change along with the amil. And what is the amil here? Fi'l is the amil here. Okay, lam yataghayyar ma'a taghayyur al-amil means the pronoun or the attached dhamir did not change with the amil fi'l. Sallamtu ala abika means I greeted your father or I did salam to your father. Okay, in the normal English, that's how you will say. So here kitabika and ka is the dhamir, dhamir muttasil. And how will you describe ka here? Fi mahalli jarrin mudafun ilay, because this is mudaf ilay. Mudafun ilay mabniun ala fathati. Mabniun ala fathati. So this is how you will call. So I hope this is clear. There was some confusion yesterday, and that's why I repeated this topic. Okay, so what we did is according to the textbook that we are following. So we finished the first exception of mu'rabun. So these are the exceptions, means these are mabniyun. And the first category is al-damair. Okay, and these are the example huwa, hum, anta, antuma, ana. Now you see here there are أفعال coming here. These are فعل. Okay. ذهبت فعل الماضي. Okay. قالوا. So how come it is mentioned in the category of ضمير, ضمائر? Okay. Let me just explain this to you, this part, because most of the time that I was talking about ضمير in the previous books was those 14 categories of ضمير, the attached and the detached pronouns. Now, I'm going to little bit elaborate more on this subject. So, damair are also part of fi'l. Okay, there are damair which are becomes the part of fi'l itself. Okay, and when it is part of fi'l, they act as fa'il. You know this already. Okay, you know this already. The only thing is why the author put it into the category of Damair. That's why I'm specifically mentioning this to you here. Now let's take an example of Darasa. Okay, he studied. Okay, now if you see, this is the conjugation of Darasa that you have learned in book 1 or in surf classes. Okay, Darasa means he studied. Now you see here there are 2 columns here. Now you Darasa here, the Damir, the file is Mustatir. You know that for third person Hua and Hiya version, the file is Mustatir. It is hidden in the fi'l. But when it comes to other pronouns, Huma, then this alif, this indicates the file. Means the moment you say darasa, that means you are talking about 2 masculine persons, okay, 2 persons, okay, muzakkar. So the moment you say this alif identifies that, okay. So this alif is damir. Okay, this alif is damir, which is indicated by which indicates this is file. Darasa means they too studied. Okay, in the same way, darasu. Now, darasu, wow is the file, and that is damir. Wow is the file, and that is damir. And wow, why only wow? Though there is alif, because alif is always written when any word ends with wow and sukoon over it, then you have to add alif. So alif is not actually, it is just added as extra letter. So actually, the plural is indicated by wow. So this wow is the file. In the same way, the darasata, this is the file. Darasna, they, feminine. It's referring to plural, feminine. They studied, darasna. So noon indicates, na indicates the file, and that is damir. That is treated as damir. In the same way, darasta, darastuma, darastum, darasti, darastuma, darastunna, darastu, darasna. Okay, so this is this indicates that in the same way. And let's take the example of mudare. In mudare also, file is indicated by these letters. Okay, so yadrusu, here file is mustatir. Yadrusani, alif indicates the file. Okay, yadrusuna, wow indicates the file. Tadrusu, tadrusani, yadrusna, again na noon indicates the file. In the same way, tadrusani here, tadrusuna, tadrusina, ya indicates the file when it comes to anti version. Okay, tadrusani, tadrusna, adrusu, nadrusu. Okay, so for first person and this, the file is mustatir. Okay, so this is that's why if you see here, dhahabtu. Okay, so this is in the, this damir is in the status of rafa. Qalu, wow is indicating that it is referring to plural. Okay, qalu, they said. Okay, and it is fi'lul madi. They said. Got it? So now for these examples, we have gone through this. Ra'aytuhu. This is with the fail. So here it is maf'ul bihi, darabani, kitabuhu. Now this here it is attached to the noun. So it is acting as mudaf ilayh, and it is majroor. It is in the status of fi mahalli jarrin. Okay. Daftaruha ismuki alayha lana. So this is with harfu jar also. Okay. So this is one category of mabniyun, which is damair. Okay. Now the second category of mabni are ismul ishara. You know this also. هذا هذه ذلك أولئك. However, هذان وهاتان, these are mu'rabani, means the dual forms of ismul ishara are not mabni. Therefore, they are mu'rab, the dual forms. They are not mabni, they are mu'rabs. So you know these ismul ishara. What is that? Hada, hadi. When it is related to ismul ishara for nearby objects, lil qarib, you'll say hada or hadhihi. Okay, depends muzakkar or muannas. For ba'id, dhalika, tilka. Okay, for muthanna, hadani, hatani. In the same way, for ba'id, dhanika, tanika. And for jama, haulai, ulaika. Okay, haulai and ulaika. Now, when it comes to mabni forms, so except for hadani and hatani, when it comes to mabni forms, you will see that. How will you say when it comes to hada? For example, you will say mabniyun ala sukuni, because the hada always takes alif at the end when there is no sign in Arabic language. That means it is taking the sign of sukun. Okay, so alif takes the sign of sukun. So that's why you say mabniun ala sukuni. Okay, in the same way for hadhihi, you will say mabniun ala al kasrati. And for plural, you will say haula'i. So how will you say? Mabniun ala al-kasrati, because ha'ulai ends with hamza and there is kasra below that. In the same way, ulaika, this ends with kaf and there is fatha over it. So you will say mabniun ala al-fathati. You will say mabniun ala al-fathati. So these are the second category of mabniyun. Now let's see the mu'raban, the dual forms of the ismul ishara. So for example, hadani, hadaini, hadaini. When it comes to the status or the i'rab of these are not in the category of mabniyun. Only dual forms are not in the category of mabniyun. In the same way, when it comes to feminine, hatani, hataini, hataini. Okay, these are dual forms of ismul ishara. Okay, this you have learned in the previous books. Now, how will you identify that what is indicating that this is marfu or mansub or majroor? So here, hadani, alif is the indicator of that. So you will say the alamat, okay, for rafa is alif. In the same way, for the alamatun for nasab is ya, and for majroor for jar is also ya. Okay, so for muthanna and dual forms of ismul ishara, these are mu'raban. Okay, and they will decline. Okay, they will decline. They are not in the category of mabniyun. Okay, so let's take some of the examples. Ja'a hadha. Now let's describe the hadha in the sentence grammatically. How will you describe that? This is mabni. So how will you say ja'a hadha means this is hadha is occupying the position of fa'il here, and it is marfu. So how will you say? It is fi mahalli raf'in fa'ilun mabniyun ala sukuni. Okay, في محل رفع فاعل مبني على السكون. Now, جاءت هذه for the feminine. Okay, so how will you say? في محل رفع فاعل مبني على الكسرة. Correct? في محل رفع فاعل مبني على الكسرة. جاء هؤلاء. Again, how will you say? Simple. في محل رفع فاعل مبني على الكسرة. Now, جاء ذلك. Again, same thing. جاءت تانيكا. Same thing. All these are coming in the place of rafa, but they are mabni. They are mabni. Now, the purpose of repeating this, which you already knew in the previous books, is just for you to get familiar, that you get familiar with how you call it grammatically, the position of these words. How will you call it? Just for your practice. Okay. Now, let's see the nasab forms. Okay. Ra'aytu hadha. Now, ra'aytu is fail fa'il. Hadha is maf'ul bihi. So, how will you call this position? في محل نصب مفعول به مبني على السكون. In the same way, رأيته هذه في محل نصب مفعول به مبني على الكسرة. رأيت هؤلاء في محل نصب مفعول به مبني على الكسرة. Brothers and sisters, I'm not asking you this time to give the answers because we have wasted a lot of time in beginning, so I don't want to delay. So I'm just going. But if you want to reply on yourself, you can. You are free to give answers. Okay, in the chat. Okay. رأيت ذلك في محل نصب مفعول به مبني على الفتحة, because ذلك ends with فتحة. ذلك ends with فتحة. Okay. Here also tanika is in the place of nasab. Okay. It is مفعول به and it is مبني على الفتحة. Same thing. أولئك also. It is مفعول به and it is مبني على الفتحة. Is it clear, brothers and sisters? Is it overwhelming or it's too much? Shall I go slowly or is it fine? Okay, if there is no answer, I will continue. Now, again, this is the jar form of that. سلمت على هذا في محل جر اسم مجرور مبني على السكون. So these pronouns are occupying the position of jar. Okay, في محل جر. Now, just tell me what is the amil in these sentences. I'm asking you this question. What is the amil in these sentences? I explained to you what is amil. So something that causes the ism to be affected. What is the amil in these sentences? It is ala, yes, and it is harfu jar. But due to mabni, but these are mabni, these ismul ishara, they are mabnis. That's why they are not changing. Okay, they are not changing. So though this amil should affect, but it is still the ism occupies the position of jar here. In the same way in the previous examples also. The ism occupies the position of jar jar here, in the previous case nasab, and before that rafa. But due to it being mabni, it is not, it doesn't changes. The ending of that doesn't changes. That's why it's in the category of mabni. Okay, now we will see the example of dual forms. Now these are not mabniyun. Ja'a hadani. So how will you say the position of hadani? You will say fa'ilun marfu'un wa alamatu raf'ihi al-alifu li'annahu muthanna. Okay, this is what it is. fa'il and it is marfu, and the marker, the sign of it being rafa is al alif. Which alif? Hadani, this alif. This alif indicates that it is marfu. It is in the place of rafa. Okay. And why? Because لأنه المثنى, because it is the dual form. Okay. In the same way, رأيت هذين. رأيت هذا. This is fail file. So this is مفعول به. So it is mansub. And what is the alamatur nasab here? What is the alamatul nasab in this? Yes. So the alamatul nasab is ya, because it is muthanna. Okay. Sallamtu ala hadaini. Okay. So just give me the positional explanation of this hadaini. How will you say that? You will say اسم مجرور وعلامة الجر he is الياء. Again لأنه مثنى. And what is the عامل here? Here عامل is على, and here عامل is فعل, and also here عامل is فعل. Okay. So these are معرب. Okay. These are in the category of معربة. Okay. جاءت هاتان. Same thing. Then رأيت هاتين and سلمت على هاتين. Exactly same. And these are dual forms and it is mu'rab. Okay. These are mu'rabs. Is it clear, brothers and sisters? Okay. Now, the third category of mabnis are ismul mausul, ismul mausul, okay, or AlAsma'ul Mausoolah, which is alladhi, allati. And you remember, brothers and sisters, you learned this Ismul Mausul in book 1. Ismul Mausul comes after Ismul Mausul. What comes? Ismul Mausul is usually accompanied by what? Ismul Mausul is usually accompanied by Silatul Mausul. Very good. Silatul Mausul. So these alladhi, this which means these Ismul Mausul means that or which, alladhi, allati, alladaini, and alladani, wallatani, these are allatani and alladani, these are again dual forms and they are mu'raban, similar to Ismul Ishara before. Let's see the examples of AlAsma'ul Mausoolah. Okay. Now these are the Ismul Mausul that you have learned earlier. Alladhi, allati, alladhina, allati, all these are mabni. But alladani and allatani, these are mu'raban. These are mu'raban. Okay. So when you are talking about mu'raban, again, what is the alamat of rafa, nasab and jar? Alladani, this alif is the alamat of rafa. And in the same way for nasab and jar, ya is the alamat of nasab and jar. So for example, alladaini, then ya indicates that it is mansub, or it is in the fi mahalli, it is in the place of nasab. Okay, mansub. Allataini, again this ya indicates that it is in the place of nasab. Same way here, alladaini majroor, allataini again majroor. Ya indicates that. Okay, exactly same, nothing new. You already know this, but we are again doing it for practice. And how will you describe in the sentence grammatically? That's why for practice we are doing it in this book. Ja alladhi yadrusu. Okay. The one who is studying came. Okay. Or came the one who studies, something like that. Okay. In the normal English, how we'll say the one who is studying came. Okay. Now, how will you describe Ismul Mausul here? Now, what is yadrusu here? Alladhi, this is what is Ismul Mawsul. So what is Yadrusu? See, so you have to go back and revise this topic. So this is Silatul Mawsul, brothers and sisters. Okay, so which means that. So Yadrusu is Silatul Mawsul of Ismul Mawsul Alladhi. Okay. Now, how will you describe grammatically the position of Allazi in this sentence? Okay. في محل رفع, because that is acting as a file. Okay. فاعل مبني على السكون. Why it is على السكون? Because الذي ends with ya and it is carrying sukun over it. الذي is carrying ya and it is carrying sukun over it. Ja'at, here I'm writing Ja'at actually, how I was in the normal, and I'll be reading how I will read it. Ja'atillati tadrusu. That's how I will say. So I will remove this sukun, I will put kasra below that, but actually it is Ja'at. Okay. Ja'at allati tadrusu. Again, same thing. في محل رفع فاعل مبني على السكون. Exactly same thing. Okay, brothers and sisters, if I'm going too fast, let me know. Okay, جاء الذين يدرسون. جاء الذين يدرسون. Okay, now this is referring to the many people, plural. Again, these الذين is file. So في محل رفع فاعل مبني على الفتحة. الذين ends with فتحة. It is مبني على الفتحة. Okay. جاء اللاتي يدرسن, because this is feminine. Allati is used for feminine plural. Okay. يدرسن, again في محل رفع فاعل مبني على السكون. Is it clear? فاعل مبني على السكون. Okay. Now رأيت, we'll see the mansub forms of that. رأيت الذي يدرس. What does it mean? I saw the person who's studying. Okay. في محل نصب مفعول به مبني على السكون. في محل نصب مفعول به مبني على السكون, because this is taking sukun. Same thing for the feminine form. رأيت الذين يدرسون. Then في محل نصب مفعول به مبني على الفتحة, because الذين is ending with fatha. Okay. رأيت اللاتي يدرسن. Same thing. في محل نصب مفعول به مبني على السكون, because اللاتي ends with ya, which is taking sukun over it. Now, سلمت على الذي يدرس. I greeted the one who's studying. Okay. What is how will you say? في محل جر اسم مجرور مبني على السكون. سلمت على التي تدرس. Again same thing. سلمت على الذين يدرسون. So في محل جر اسم مجرور مبني على الفتحة. سلمت على اللاتي يدرسن. في محل جر اسم مجرور مبني على السكون. Now we will see the dual forms of that. جاء اللذان يدرسان. Can anyone explain the position of اللذان? Okay. Now this is in the category of mu'rab. Can anyone explain in the chat the position of اللذان here? اللذان is fa'il. Okay. اللذان is fa'il. Okay, so how will I say? Can anyone answer before I display the? So, brothers and sisters, yes, you are right. I cannot say your answer is wrong. But what you can say, this is fa'ilun marfu'un. You can simply say fa'ilun marfu'un, and then you can say the rest of the thing. Fa'ilun marfu'un. Then you can say what is the alamat of rafa. The alamat of rafi'ihi is what? Al-alifu. Al-alifu li'annahu ismul mawsul. Because it is ismul mawsul. So it's something that that's how you described in the Ismul Ishara. Got it? Okay, try for the second one. Yeah, because it is dual. Yes, yeah, because it is dual. No, so for usually for mu'raban or for any mu'rab, you will say directly for fa'ilun marfu'un. That is also not wrong, Sister Nilofer. That is also correct. Fi mahalli rafin is also correct because marfu is the one that occupies the position of rafa. But usually you will say that for mabniyun when it occupies the place of rafa. But that's also not wrong grammatically. Okay. رأيت اللذين يدرسان. How will you describe اللذين? Now tell me. مفعول به منصوب, very good. وعلامة نصبه الياء لأنه اسم الموصول. Excellent. Excellent. Very good, sister. Okay, مفعول به منصوب وعلامة نصبه الياء لأنه اسم الموصول. Very good. سلمت على اللذين يدرسان. سلمت على اللذين يدرسان. اسم المجرور وعلامة جره is الياء لأنه اسم الموصول. Very good. Okay. So these are mu'rab. The same way for the feminine, these are the example. Okay. جاءت اللتان تدرسان. Okay. This is file here. Al-latani is file here. And alamatul raf'i is al-alifu. In the same way, second example, ra'aytul allataini. Ra'aytu allataini. It is maf'ul bihi mansub and the alamatul nasbi is al-ya'u. Now in the third last example, sallamtu alal lataini. Here also this is majroor because of harfu jar ala, which is amil, and alamatul jarrihi is al-ya'u لأنه اسم الموصول. Is it clear, brothers and sisters? Okay. Alhamdulillah. Jazakumullah khair. Okay. Do we have time? Yeah, okay, we can finish this also. Now the fourth category of mabniyun, asma'ul istifhami. Okay. So what are asma'ul istifhami? Ma, man, those things. Mada, aina, mata, kaifa, all these. Okay, all this you have learned in book 1 and book 2. Now, the author doesn't mention this, but it is explained in his book. كل أسماء الاستفهام مبنية ما عدا أي فيه معربة. What does it mean? What does it mean? Now you should be able to quickly translate this. كل أسماء الاستفهام مبنية ما عدا أي فيه معربة. Please tell me, brothers and sisters. All asma al istifham are no, yes, are mabniya except ayu. Very good. So yesterday I explained you ma'ada, right? And ma'ada means except. Okay. Okay, so that's correct. And in it, in ayu are mu'raba. So ayu, and you have learned this also. I explained you ayu, and I think I explained in book 1 also and book 2 also. Ayu can be ayu, ayya,